So hip opening mountain climbers, you can use this as a warm-up stretch, as a conditioning exercise. I'm going to start out with how you would incorporate it into your warm-up. You want to, and variations. So I'm going to start with the basic variation is from a quadruped position. So from tabletop, hands and knees. Your wrists are directly underneath your shoulder, your knees are directly underneath your hips. So from this position, the idea is to get your foot up to the outside of your hand. So you would bring your foot up here. And you're gonna feel some stretching in and around your hip, your inner thigh, maybe your outer thigh. And for the warm-up, you can just stay in this position. You can move around and see where there's tightness. Kind of search that out. When you find a tight spot, just kind of stop there and breathe into your belly and just try to relax where there's tension. You can push your knee into your elbow, create some extra tension. So that's kind of the basic position. You would drop that back. Do the same thing on the other side. Now, if that's easy or you want to try out the next variation, you would do it from a plank position. So you would come up into a plank position. And then you would have your feet together, your knees together, squeeze your butt, rotate your elbow pits forward so that gets you out of that hunched position, which I'm kind of in today. So bring that down so you're nice and tight. And you're going to bring your foot to the outside of your hand. Now, you need to have pretty good hip mobility for this. So that's why if you're unable to, you would come down with your knee down. If you're unable to get your hand up there in either, or your foot up there in either variation, just go where you can go. So if it's here, you're going to start there. And over time, you're going to try to move it a little further up. Okay? So you can put your foot here, just getting into that position, opening up the hips. And you would hold that for, ideally you would hold that if you're doing a stretch for up to 2 minutes, because then your stretch reflex kind of lets go and you can get into that new range, like that little bit of new range. So patience, wait for 2 minutes, and you can use that time to become mindful. So don't just go off into another world. Really focus on being in your body and thinking about the tension in that area and trying to relax it during the 2 minutes. As I said, you can do it as a conditioning portion. I often put it into the conditioning portion of the workout. But that would come from here, and you would tap, alternating the whole time. So if your range is limited and you want to add it into the conditioning portion, you can also go here. And then of course your regular mountain climber would be to your knee. But you want to work up to getting that foot out and around to the outside of your hand. So that's hip opening mountain climbers or the hip opening mountain climber stretch.